We're back inside now where there may be AC. I feel it, but we still have hot topics. And joining me on today's panel, we have journalist Omari Salisbury from Converge Media and Justin Carder for the Capitol Hill Seattle blog, as well as our executive producer, Joseph Suttner.
Good morning. Good
morning. All right, it's supposed to be 90+ degrees. How are you all beating the heat?
Well, for me, it's called air conditioning. I am a very lucky Seattleite that has AC in their townhome, but also just, you know, hydrate.
All right, hydrate. Justin?
Don't button the top button on your shirt. And the other good tip, here's a local tip for Capitol Hill folks they'll know about from last summer is if you're really suffering, the light rail tunnel, just head down to Capitol Hill Station. Oh. That train comes in, you get a rush of city smells and some heat, and then you get this cool underground cooling. It's awesome. It's a great place to go hang out.
I like that you start with the smells. We get to the cooling. All right, Omari, can you beat that? Any tips?
Yeah, I go to the State Hotel right across the street from the Pike Place Market. I've become a regular there. You know, I'm old school here. I don't have the high-end air-conditioned apartment. And so when it gets too hot, I call the State Hotel down there in a second, and I'll go hang out for a few days.
Oh, you just hang out there?
Yeah,
over a few days?
You know, I just kind of check in for a little bit.
Until things cool down.
Yeah. I have been known, I mean, movie theaters are great. Also, I've been known to go into Costco and to stand in the freezer section and just open the freezer and maybe look a bit longer than I should.
Oh, man, Susie loves Costco.
And then go down. Or the dairy case I'm hearing as well in my ear. Somebody likes the dairy case.
The produce section is also quite nice,
Yeah, I have been known to do that. So, any other tips?
You can do that on the Capitol Hill now. QFC's unlocked its ice cream again. So
they unlocked the ice cream.
Although the ice cream one seems a bit cruel because everybody's going there and you're lowering that heat. Maybe the section that nobody wants to go, like the fake chicken nugget section in the freezers.
But you got to bend your head down though. You know what I'm saying for that one.
You need to fully walk in, right? Actually, at Costco too, that dairy section in Costco is that fully walk-in one. So you know, I could tell you for days how to do that. All right. Now, you both cover Capitol Hill and the Central District quite a bit. What's new in that part of town?
Well, you know, the month of June, real historic, because the beginning of the month, on June 4th, you had Metier Brewing. They opened their Cherry Street tap room. And then on June 18th, you had 23rd Avenue Brewery open up. And so you had like Metier, which is very established, right, all across the region. And then you got this band of brothers over on 23rd Avenue Brewery.
I love that.
Yeah, and you know the Metier project's cool too because it's got a little Capitol Hill energy in it. Liz Dunn, big part of Capitol Hill's development, especially in the Pike Pine area. She's the developer over there who helped kind of build this new effort over there on East Cherry to kind of change the street and add new businesses and new places to live. So it's a neat connection between the neighborhoods.
And there's a real energy that's coming back. That's nice to see, right?
Yeah, mine was down the block, I think, when Metier opened up. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's the best thing is somebody who grew up in the Central District, went to Garfield High School, is that we see a renaissance of black businesses returning to the Central District.
Absolutely. Now, the return of in-person Pride for the first time in 2 years this past weekend. How'd that feel? I know, Joseph, you were right in the thick of it.
Yeah, Capitol Hill, I had not seen that many people on it, I think, in quite a minute. So this is a photo I took. This was at the parade. It was really nice just to see everyone back together and at the parade. This was down at Seattle Center. Monet Exchange from RuPaul's Drag Race was performing, so I went down to see that. It was really just a fun atmosphere. And I think the next picture is of, this was at Queer Bar's block party, and Kim Petras was performing. But just, as you can see, it was packed. I mean, just people everywhere. But it was kind of nice. It felt like maybe some pre-pandemic times. And then, of course, there's the Progressive Pride flag on the Space Needle, which I thought was really nice.
I love it. It sets off beautifully with that, the galaxy gold or whatever that color is.
But it was interesting that, of course, Pride, it's in person for first time in 2 years, but mixed with the heat. We have not seen an 80-degree day this year yet. And to have all that happen at one time was
and all those people, right? How did that feel to be back with all those people again?
Well, it was fun, but it was a little strange just because COVID is still out there. But it felt nice to be back with people, and you know, it feels like we're on the path to returning to more normal times, which I'm totally here for.
And overall, it just lent that feeling of kind of being back and the energy to the area.
Mm-hmm. Justin, I mean, you're covering Capitol Hill. Did you see a lot this weekend?
Oh, I mean, we've got a ton more photos on CapitolHillSeattle.com, and they're a lot of fun. It's just, the background's great, people smiling in the front, but if you look in the back of the photos and just see the crowd, it's nice to see. And I also know from the businesses, you know, I mean, Pride, there's a lot of talk about, you know, how corporatized it's become and the changes over the years, but it's important for the small businesses of Capitol Hill and the bars and the restaurants. And you know, early returns are that the hot weather really helped make it just a great return to June Pride here in the neighborhood and across the city. So that they're all really excited about that.
That's great.
Feels good to see people back. Okay, be real. Let's talk about it. Let's get real. Maybe too real.
This app.
There's an app called the Be Real app. And it wants you to take a photo of one a day, it says, where you have no filters.
So yeah, how it works is at whatever point in the day, you have to take a photo with your front and your back camera to like really show like whatever you're doing in life, like to be real or whatever. But I'm sorry, some like mundane things I'm doing, like, do you really want to see me like cooking dinner? I mean, is it that exciting? I don't know. I think it's too much, too real.
Omari, what do you think? Too much realness? Or are you up for it?
No, I ain't up for it. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering, like, who's online looking for that, though?
Right.
You know what
the
I'm
realness?
saying? I mean, sometimes you just need your own space. People don't need to see everything that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's too real for me.
Too real. Yeah. But do you also, though, think there's a problem with too many filters that we don't show the real?
Yeah. Well, I mean, excuse me. The big problem. The big problem that we find, at least that I see, is that too many people are curating their life for a social media application, and then you meet them in real life, and it's like, you know, it's like it's a whole society's catfishing each other. You feel me? And so it's like, yeah, the filter, the this, the that. We saw like during the pandemic, right? All these people who are like influencers and IG, once everything was closed and they couldn't go to a restaurant to take a picture of food someone else made, or couldn't go to a hotel or this and that, they lost their relevancy because their whole existence was curated around, you know, someone else's creations or content. So, you know.
And maybe that's the point they're going for, is kind of curate your own content, but give us something real.
Yeah, I always say like Instagram is just a giant highlight reel. I mean, it's so true.
Justin, what about you?
I run a news blog for a reason. I stay off video and rarely do things like this. So, you know, the idea of having to be even more exposed, I'll leave that to the TV folks and good folks like Omari over at Converge.
They should have something called fail. Like, because people are always curating these fake successes and everything else. If you really want to be real on an app, it's like, yo, this is how I failed at this today. But you know what? I'm going to still try tomorrow. I think that would be like meaningful.
Yeah, I didn't nail it. I love that. I think you're onto something. All right. Omari, Justin, and Joseph are sticking around for more topics later in the show, including a look back since the chop happened 2 years ago on Capitol Hill.